What's up, everybody? Welcome to the ReCoop. I'm your host, Cooper Daniels, and today is Wednesday. Yeah, buddy. Wednesday, October 9th in the year 2024. What is happening? I need more coffee. Restream now has 2.0. I haven't streamed in at least 2 weeks. And so now everything's different. Folks, you got to be uncomfortable. It's been a while, folks. I'm saying folks a lot. Usually I'll do that when I'm out of practice. What's going on? There's a few of you here. I appreciate you showing up. So there's a transition happening now at the ReCoop. So we're going to have to go through these struggles. People are used to just finding me as they scroll through Twitter. And we're not going to do that anymore. You're not going to be able to find this show on Twitter. I mean, I'll clip things out and I'll post it on Twitter. We'll do fun things on Twitter. I'm not leaving Twitter. That would be crypto suicide. But I'm just going to focus my show on YouTube. We're going to consolidate in one place. Did anybody watch is anybody in the chat? I see that we have some people. We're going to need to spread awareness and get people looking at this and get the algorithm juiced up on YouTube. It'll take a while. Let's hang out. Please, folks, will you like the video? Will you subscribe to the channel? And will you comment or do whatever you need to do? Help share on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. And help this transition back to YouTube only be a little less painful. That would be appreciated. Thank you very much. All right, who's in the chat? Oh, shit. Yeah, we knew Taco would be. What's up, Taco? It's going to be a good day. Missed you, Coop. I missed you back, Taco. I like being in this chat. I'm transitioning, folks. I'm in crypto, and I'm transitioning. I've lost 2 watchers after I talked about viewers. I call them watchers. Some people call them viewers. After I talked about my transition, it's going to be okay. Guys, just be who you are. You know what I mean? Whatever you feel on the inside is your reality. Mike, what day is it? Today is October 9th. Coop is transitioning. He is so brave. I am brave. I'm a man of substance and courage for my transition. So I watched the HBO documentary last night. Did anybody watch that? Did you guys watch that? I'll just keep talking because there's only 10 of you. But there might be more later. We could also just hang out for a second. Is there anything new before I just start jumping into electric money? Anybody else having a hard time fighting against this sort of, I mean, I still believe in the industry, obviously. I'm highly exposed. I'm transitioning and I'm exposing myself, folks. This is the new me. You know what I mean? This is the new reality of the ReCoop. Just a nice transition and a bit of whipping out my dong. You know what I'm saying? Just be like, I'm going to wear a sports. Hey, man, I'm going to wear a sports bra. And then I'm going to get some hot pants with my cock out. You know, I walk around in a sports bra with my dick out. Yeah, that'd be fun. It's modern. I live in Los Angeles. I'd probably be okay. Do we want to know? Who's Satoshi Coop? What you think? Okay, well, I'll tell you what I think. I don't think we want to know. And I think we should leave him alone. But I've thought that. I've known for a long time. And I did watch that thing last night. Well, we're going to continue to talk about it. But first, I wanted to say, I have been emotionally capitulating a bit to this space because it's hard to be here for so long. I've been here for a long time now. A lot of you have. I've noticed the same accounts for years. So it's we're not newbies. Nobody's a newbie. You might have been a noob in 2020 or 2021, whenever you got here, 2019, whenever you got here. But you're no longer that. We've been through crazy bear markets, and now we are in the weirdest sideways action in the history of life. Alts don't really want to move. They are still extraordinarily down. Bitcoin is high. And that's about it. other than now we're seeing some, I mean, obviously memes and memes and memes and memes and memes. Imagine how much more money we'd all have, or certainly all the people that love Bitcoin and Ethereum and more, you know, have a bigger vision for what this space is and think memes are somewhat ridiculous. If all that meme money went into those other things, it would be an interesting, it'd probably be a different market, wouldn't it? That's okay. That's not the reality. Um, but yeah, it's hard not to get a little jaded when it's just like, all right, so the money gets made because you got to be in a VC project that is with lots of unlocks. It's just like doesn't make any sense. We'll talk about that. I'm going to go through the Coin Market Cap today. I thought it might be fun for me to go through Coin Market Cap and kind of do a flash review for all the top tokens. Just the first thing that comes into my head. I have not prepared it in any way, shape, or form. I was creating a title. I just wanted to go live today. And I was like, let's talk about the documentary. And why don't I just have like a bit of an improv exercise where I just say the first thing that comes into my head about each of these tokens? Might be fun, right? Might be clippable. I mean, it is the longest meme bull run. Yeah, Taco's like, seems like the longest meme bull run of all time. And it is. It is. And it's all VC games. That's where they can manipulate still. They can do it over at Sui and Aptus. All that bullshit. All that crap. You know what I'm saying? You got what I mean? I got my Bitcoin cup today. Cooper, are you going to live stream daily? I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know that I'm going to live stream daily. I need to figure this out because this is the deal. I need to get back to getting some sponsors. So if you're interested in sponsors, I mean, I don't imagine that there's going to be a lot of people interested until we get this show going again and there's some numbers involved. But if you are interested, please reach out. I want to get some sponsors going, and I want to get back to the original, the OG ReCoop, where I dove in, I prepared, I edited, I was quick. It wasn't so so there was a little, a tighter package. And so, I think that people will watch that more. When the video is 8 minutes, they're more likely to watch it than 67 minutes. Unless you're watching live. And if we can grow that and there's a large live audience, then I will go back to live streaming. If that's the only job I've got to do. Look, if we can turn me streaming live Monday through Friday as my job, then fuck yeah, I'll do that. I'll do it all. I'll make the videos. I'll edit the videos. I'll do a live stream daily. But, there's some work that needs to be done on my end. And I think I've got the goods. It's all of the other shit that makes it so difficult to get this going. And it's also, I'm a bit of a contrarian. Like, I like to just say what I think. So it's hard because sometimes I'm not necessarily working for bags. I'm working for the truth. And I do feel like that is hard to, it's hard in this space. But I think people are kind of waking up and want a clear vision. I think we're losing our way in this industry, to be honest. Like, what are we even here for? And this is the question that has been ringing in my head all year. Like, I mean, you've seen it. If you've been watching closely, I've done episodes, but like, what are we even doing here? And what do we want? I know what I want, and I know where I'm investing. So that's it. This isn't a trading show. Now I'm just rambling, but I'm not going to teach you how to trade. I mean, I'll give you information to keep your trades more informed for sure. But this is more of a investor community, trying to keep you up to date and like narratives and, what it is that this industry is trying to accomplish and how you can maybe invest in that. So things that are down bad right now, but how they're working on the real things for the future of this that are going to be a real thing. Because like, obviously turning any pop culture event into a meme coin and pump and dumping it isn't the future of this industry. It might exist and it might make people a lot of money. It's going to wreck a lot of people too. And I'm not saying that that's going to die, but that can't be the future of what this shit is, or else it doesn't matter, right? So we'll talk more about that. But yeah, I mean, in the end, let's just have some fun. Let's be in this space. Let's be informed. and let's put our chips on things that have longevity and are really making a difference in the world. That's the hope, right? Maybe we'll see. You could teach us to trade like AJ teaches us to trade. Every chart he looks at is really bullish. We've been sideways for 6 months. Yeah, I remember AJ went on a period where he was like, "Don't invest in Bitcoin because the returns are so muted." And I remember thinking, "Oh my god, like that's bad advice." I mean, it's fine advice, right? If you're highly active and but for most of you, I know you're not that. I know most of you aren't that. Most of you believe you. Most of you are stupid, are fucking big dummies like me, and actually believe in this industry and what it can achieve. And if you believe that, I think holding in Bitcoin is a really good idea. A lot of having some Bitcoin is a great idea actually because it keeps you from getting totally and utterly wrecked. Like when algo was at 40 cents, what was Bitcoin at? That's a good question for you to go ask. I guarantee you it wasn't. It was lower than 64. And I dare you to check where algo is. We're going to check later. But so going all in on alts, when Bitcoin was 26 and algo was 45 or whatever it was, I'm just throwing numbers out of my ass. Obviously, you'd been a lot happier if you just sat in a lot of Bitcoin and then had your other stuff. Anyways, that's the type of shit we're going to talk about here. We're good. We're in here to party. Tacos serving tacos. I want some tacos, bro. I've had the chips. I've had the churro chips. I've had the seasoning for the corn, which I've definitely used, and it was delicious. By the way, guys, have you had elote flavored Pringles? They're good, actually. A lot of times you try a new flavor. Pringles is not paying me, but a lot of times you'll try a new Pringles flavor. You'll be like, not as good, not good. I want sour cream. I want cheddar. I want whatever you like. But the elote was delicious. So enjoy that. Enjoy that piece of advice. I'm feeling rusty. All right, let's talk about Electric Money. So I watched that last night. I got home late. I started at 11:30, but I watched the whole thing. It was fine. I think that it was I think if I were just a casual HBO viewer that knows about Bitcoin but doesn't really knows that there's a Satoshi Nakamoto who, nobody knows who he is or whatever, I think I would have enjoyed that. I think I would have understand more like why people like Bitcoin. I think it was relatively bullish. The person believed, the guy that made the movie clearly believes in Bitcoin. And the suspects were probably right on target. They came to the conclusion that Peter Todd, who is a core Bitcoin developer and has been around from the very beginning, would have been very young when he was Satoshi, is Satoshi. They came up with some interesting evidence. Adam Back was highly involved in this documentary. Now, if there's anything, highly involved, I don't know how involved he was on the back end, but he was in the movie a lot. And who obviously a lot of people do think that he was Satoshi, Blockstream, et cetera, et cetera. Peter Todd also worked at Blockstream for a long time. I don't think he does anymore. And whatever. I think that Peter Todd reached out to Adam Back when he was like 15 years old. And Peter Todd was a bit of a coding savant. And he's a bit of a weirdo also, based on what I've seen on that documentary, which, feels right. He, and there was they dropped it like at the end. I don't know if they put this in at the end just so people don't go and try to kidnap Peter Todd, but they, at the very end of the movie, and I'm spoiler alert. I don't spoiler. Are you really, you're not watching this to see how the turn, right? I don't know. Maybe you are, but yeah, go watch it. I hope you weren't hoping that I wouldn't reveal who they say is Satoshi. You are on Twitter. You were on Twitter. Don't worry about it. But at the very end of the movie, they show a quote or something from Peter Todd or on one of these chat boards talking about how he has a lot of experience sacrificing Bitcoin. So they lead you to believe that Peter Todd is Satoshi and he destroyed the keys. He talks about if he was Satoshi, he would destroy his ability to prove it. All I know based on that movie, I don't know if Peter Todd is Satoshi. If he is, certainly Hal Finney, who he had a working relationship with, and Nick Szabo, and probably Adam Back were all part of it. It's probably a crew, you would think. But all I know with such, after watching that thing very closely, is that Adam Back knows who Satoshi is. That's for damn sure. You could see it all over his face. And then when at the very end, it was really good, actually, documentary filmmaking. It was good, like from like I have a history in acting, and I feel like I'm a good read on people. So the thing that made me think that maybe Peter Todd actually is Satoshi is looking at Adam Back at the end of that movie as they were telling Peter Todd that he was Satoshi, and the way that guy was reacting to it, but the way that Adam Back was standing there and the way his expression on his face, I was like, oh shit, he might actually be. But in the end, it doesn't really matter, does it? Everybody should leave that fucking guy alone. Peter Todd, leave him alone. Let him continue to work on Bitcoin. And by all accounts, he also seems like crazy enough. He seems like the Peter Todd guy does seem egotistical enough. Like everybody talks about how he needs to be the smartest guy in the room. The smartest guy in the room would destroy their ability to access 1 million Bitcoin. Imagine having to live with that. Like if he's the one, right? And it's not like the Len Sassaman or whatever. And obviously Hal Finney, who's the most likely alongside Nick Szabo. But they do have, there is proof, and they mentioned this in the movie. They have Hal Finney at a marathon at the same time that Satoshi was commenting on the boards. But if it is Peter Todd, and he's destroyed all of the Bitcoin, or his access to that Bitcoin, that'd be pretty wild. And there's nothing you can really do. So who knows? I'm happy that the movie's over, and we still don't really know. I think Adam Back certainly knows, and it might be Peter Todd. But if he destroyed access to those Bitcoin, what a fucking gangster, for one. Like, what a G. Oh, man, imagine that. Imagine that. Because, I mean, depending on what year he did it, it's a lot of, he probably did it before it was worth $1 trillion or whatever. Oh, man. Oh, boy. What did you guys think? I love you back, Taco. I like pizza Pringles. Ooh, yeah, pizza are good. I've had pizza Pringles. Yeah, the elote ones are good. All right. So, I mean, there's nothing really to say. It just seems like it could be that Peter Todd guy, and he got help from the homies. They had Nick Szabo, the guy that I've always said, if you've watched this show for a long time, then you probably watched my Satoshi video from many years ago. This is very early on the show. It was probably one of my first 10 videos that I made. And the conclusion that I came to was that it was Nick Szabo. He certainly probably helped. And, these are all these cypherpunks, and it was a community, a close-knit community. All these guys were working on electric digital money, e-money, trying to add them back included, and Bitcoin landed on it. It's wild. It's wild what's happening with Bitcoin. I mean, isn't it crazy? We've been here for how long? And look at it. I think that last night's thing is just another catalyst to capture people's imagination about who it is. That you think that it's Peter Todd, but you don't know. And after watching that, and so it doesn't really matter, especially if he, like Peter Todd says, destroyed his access to prove that it's him. But I think I cut off the thought, but like, imagine living with that, living with the fact that you burned $1 trillion. You'd kill it. I mean, obviously, if you try to sell it, you kill it. Be kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like Coop. You know what I'm saying? Coop Toshi. Coop gave away all of it, and it was a similar, obviously much lower, much lower stakes. But when I gave away all the Coop, and you guys ran that thing to $1 million market cap, I was like, fuck, because I was gonna jokingly keep a Satoshi wallet because it was all kind of, but I was gonna keep one less than the Satoshi wallet, but then I was like, don't keep any because I just don't keep any, and I didn't. But at some point, when the TVL had grown a lot, that Satoshi wallet would have been worth, at least 100 grand. So much lower scale, but still. He's like, Batman. I know, for real. You guys should watch it though. I mean, why not? It was a good hour and a half. I mean, if you're somebody that has been in the trenches forever and you have, so I mean, this isn't for somebody that has been in Bitcoin since 2010. It's for somebody that has entered Bitcoin recently and is like kind of orange pilled and wants to learn more and still cares about who Satoshi is. But more than ever, it has occurred to me that it really doesn't matter, especially like we said last night. It was good. It was good information that if the guy they say is it, he made it pretty clear, and there seems to be evidence that he doesn't have access to it. So we can all carry on and not worry about that and go back to worrying about the U.S. government and governments in general. All right. Hello from Cyprus, Coop. What's up, Evis? Nice to have you in the building. All right, folks. Hey, let's scroll the news real quick. Let's see what's going on. I haven't been looking, to be honest. I'm pretty fresh, so you're going to see me react to this stuff. Bear with me. The restream looks completely different, so if we start screwing shit up, I apologize. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to share screen. We're going to we'll go to CNBC real quick, see what the macro looks like. Put this on. No, see, there we go. It's been a while. All right, let's go to CNBC. Let's refresh this thing. You guys can see it. All right, so we're in the green. The stock market's in the green. The Dow is up nearly 1%, 350 points. The S&P 500 is up 30 points, so it's up 0.5%. All right, so it's not like going parabolic, but we're in the green. Dow rises more than 300 points. S&P 500 rises to a record as market shakes off the October malaise. The VIX is down. How's oil? Oil is down. Gold is down. People are talking about a silver squeeze. I guess we got the Fed minutes coming soon. We'll look at crypto in a second. Okay, so the Fed officials were divided on whether to cut rates by 0.5 point. So we did get the minutes. Federal Reserve officials at their September meeting agreed to cut interest rates, but were unsure how aggressive to get. Minutes released Wednesday indicated that a substantial majority of participants favored cutting by 0.5 percentage point CNBC, though some expressed misgivings about going that large. Since the meeting, economic indicators have showed that the labor market is perhaps stronger than officials favoring the 50 basis point move had expected. Okay, so seems that maybe the labor market, but we all know that they're going to correct these job statistics, and it's not as good as we think because they got people manipulating this because there's an election coming up. All right, so let's all relax here a little bit. But all right, the Fed officials at their September meeting agreed to cut interest rates, but we're unsure how aggressive to get. We just read that. Some officials hoped for a smaller 0.25 percentage point reduction as they sought assurance that inflation was moving sustainably lower and were less worried about the jobs picture. Ultimately, only one FOMC member, Michelle Bowman, voted against the 0.5 point cut, saying she would have preferred a 0.25 point, but the minutes indicated that others also favored a smaller move. It was the first time a governor had dissented on an interest rate vote since 2005. For a Fed known for its unity on monetary policy. Some participants observed that they would have preferred a 25 basis point reduction of the target range at this meeting, and a few others indicated that they could have supported such a decision. Several participants noted that a 25 basis point reduction would be in line with a gradual path of policy normalization that would allow policymakers time to assess the degree of policy restrictiveness as the economy evolved. A few participants also added that a 25 basis point move could signal a more predictable path of policy normalization. All right. You guys can keep reading that on your own time if you'd like. So NVIDIA is back on a tear. A huge shit show heading to Florida. If you're in Florida, take care of yourself and your family. The market has this Israel retaliation against Iran looming over it. It's tough though with this type of consolidation, especially like if we've been watching a consolidation or sideways movement on Bitcoin. It's like it's hard to time because it's like you think, okay, well, there's like this looming. Is there a looming black swan? Like, are we fucked? And then you position for that, and then maybe Israel attacks Iran in a way, and markets get smacked for a second, but then that could just lead to a market going parabolic. Like it's tough, man. So be careful out there making big short bets or anything like that. Fuck yeah, Palantir. If you're in it, if you're in for the dark U.S. government stocks, that's been on a tear as well. Ba-do-do. Do. All right, let's look at crypto. No notifications. Okay, so Bitcoin is trending down. It's back in the 60s. We'll look at that in a second. Okay. Okay. Peter Todd denies he's Satoshi. That's what Satoshi would say. Latam bank Lidio ditches Ethereum for Avalanche. A Colombian neobank is enabling customers to access U.S. Treasury bills through crypto products. Lidio is switching vault holdings from Ethereum to Avalanche to scale the products. Launched in February, the vaults have already garnered $80 million in trading volume. Why the change? Growing demand for yield pots is forcing the operation to scale. Avalanche's low transaction fees and consistency were cited as reasons for picking the chain. The Avalanche Foundation launched a $50 million program last year to incentivize the development of real-world assets on its network, and this news is a nice win for the platform. Well, there you go. Peter Todd wants to fix Satoshi's Bitcoin bugs. The HBO documentary turned the spotlight on an early Bitcoin contributor who recently has proposed an upgrade. I'm sharing, right? To fix all the bugs left in Bitcoin's original code. Okay, that's not it. Yeah. So he was critical. Okay. For millennials, Bitcoin is the new real estate. Mm-hmm. If you missed it yesterday, the U.S. government had a court approve them of selling. I think it was a lot of Bitcoin. A lot of Bitcoin. I forget how much it was. It's probably hidden somewhere here. Let's go look at the block real quick. Gary Gensler grilled by law students and former SEC commissioner over his stance on regulating crypto. At a fireside chat on Wednesday with the former SEC Democratic Commissioner Robert Jackson Jr. at the the NYU Law Institute for Corporate Governance and Finance, asked SEC Chair Gary Gensler about the agency's approach to digital assets. Law students also pressed Gensler about whether the SEC should be more clear in its stance on crypto. Is that the way we should oversee cryptocurrency? By trying to apply a 1940s Supreme Court decision to this technology? Gensler stood his ground. Look, it's the law of the land, and I took an oath of office to do it, but it also protects investors. At the core of this securities laws, there is a basic concept. You all get to decide what you want to invest in. That could be green energy or artificial intelligence, but either way, disclosures are necessary. The SEC has brought a number of enforcement actions against big names in the crypto blah blah. On Wednesday, Gensler also pointed toward fraud in the crypto industry, citing a report from the FBI last month that recorded a 45% uptick last year in losses tied to crypto. With all respect, the leading lights of this field in 2022 are either in jail or awaiting extradition right now. Roberts also asked Gensler if it would be better to create a regulatory framework for digital assets, said the framework already exists. Just because people don't like the law doesn't mean there's no law. A law student also asked Gensler about the SEC's term crypto asset securities and whether the agency should be more clear about its position. The SEC said in a recent amended complaint that when the agency refers to crypto asset securities, it's not referring to the crypto asset itself, but the full set of contracts, expectations, and understandings of the sales of such assets. The agency added that it regrets any confusion. Gensler said the agency has been clear over the years, including when former SEC Chair Jay Clayton headed the agency. Since then as well, the SEC have spoken clearly in a consistent voice, and the courts have as well. The SEC is merit neutral. Oh, Gary, shut the fuck up. All right, let's keep going. Ba-da-da-da-da. All right. Former Bitcoin developer points out missing detail undermining HBO's claim that Peter Todd is Satoshi. Former Bitcoin core developer Gregory Maxwell. Wasn't Gregory Maxwell the guy that created Blockstream with Adam Back, and who in the documentary, Peter Todd said he was much closer to Gregory Maxwell than Adam Back? So what do we listen to him for? If filmmaker Cullen Hoback had actually wanted to find Satoshi, he would have presented his theories to Adam Back and I to see if there wasn't some trivial flaw in them, like this. Following Tuesday night's release of the HBO documentary Money Electric, former Bitcoin core developer Gregory Maxwell pointed out an overlooked detail undermining filmmaker Cullen Hoback's case that Bitcoin's pseudonymous creator is another early Bitcoin developer, Peter Todd. The nearly 2-hour documentary billed as a globe-trotting investigation out to solve one of the internet's greatest mysteries. The crux of Hoback's case centered around a 2010 reply to Satoshi on the Bitcoin Talk forum, in which he claimed Todd accidentally finished Satoshi's post from his own account. Oh, damn. Both accounts remained silent in the days that followed, with Todd later implementing the Bitcoin replace by fee feature discussed as a concept in the thread. Replace by fee allows a sender to replace an unconfirmed transaction with another one that has a higher transaction fee to get it processed more quickly. Among the supposed supporting evidence, Hoback also cited Todd using John Dillon to push replace by fee. The British Canadian spellings used both by Satoshi and Todd in a weekend-heavy posting schedule that aligned with Todd's student timetable. Further, Hoback said Todd was once discussed sacrificing Bitcoins and argued this was in reference to destroying Satoshi's coins, estimated to be as much as 1.1 million Bitcoin, worth roughly 68 billion on paper. In a discussion thread in the hours that followed the documentary's airing, Maxwell wrote that at the time, Peter Todd's account was named ReCoop and didn't have any immediately obvious connection to his identity. If there had been a slip up, he could have just abandoned the account and certainly not later had it renamed to his legal name. I don't know. That wasn't all that convincing to me. That I don't feel like they just. I think we should just move on. It probably is this dude with the help of friends, and now let's just move on. I actually feel better. I actually like that this documentary came out because now I actually think that that Satoshi doesn't have access to those coins. So I don't care if it's Peter Todd or if it's Nick Szabo or if it's one of these guys that unfortunately passed away early. It's fucking cool though. I just think it's fucking Bitcoin's cool. I love it. Fuck yeah. I can't believe it. Make sure you have some, folks. Not financial advice, but just make sure you have some. You can buy it if you're on Algorand. You can just get some. You can do the Algomint one. You can do Wormhole. Just go for it. Okay, or not. Do what you want. Okay. All right. Let's get out of here. So the block has been blocked. Let's go. Let's do. You want to do this little? Maybe we'll go to Vestige real quick because we all love KubeCoin. Man, is Algo some 12 cents? Damn. Okay, Daffy has been pumping. Bobo is up. The memes are memeing again. Tiny had a bit of a dip, didn't it? Got sub 4 cents. Coop holding out on page 1. Got a little pump there. It's sitting at 2.5 cents. Boy, does it love ever since Marine got liquidated. Coop coin has loved 2.5 cents. Gora is out there struggling a bit. Struggling with the narrative. Daffy has gone parabolic. Polka Gold's still here. Chips. What's happening with chips? That doesn't look good. I hope that's all good. Baby. All right, let's have some fun on CoinMarketCap. I'm losing steam. I should have done this early. Back fucking hurts. I'd have been crisper with the commentary, but here we are on CoinMarketCap. Let's have some fun. Okay, so we're still neutral on the fear and greed. Bitcoin is sub 61. You guys, you've been listening to me all show. I'm feeling good about this. Ethereum is at 2,400, doing all right. How's the volume? The volume's it's just the same. It's always this volume. ETH, look, it is decentralized. It is the layer for these layer 2s, and they got to figure out, and it can be this like kind of, settlement layer and do all the big things. And you can have all the really expensive, like the BlackRock stuff on there, and it's battle tested, and it's all that. So it's not dying like everybody in Solana wants it to do, or whatever the fuck you guys think is going to happen. It's not gonna. But at the same time, there are, and I think Polkadot is probably the actual competition for Ethereum in some ways, because that shared security type of thing where you have the layer 0 and then all of these roll-ups getting their security from Polkadot. The roll-ups, if they're going to be, they can be really decentralized. Are these layer 2s and these sequencers? So we're going to see with Jam and all of that on Polkadot. But anyways, I think Ethereum is good. We're good. Tether, we're not going to talk about Tether, but there's always some bullshit floating around. Tether, BNB, I don't know, guys. What do you think? Are you feeling it? Do you feel good about BNB? I just don't know anything. It's just not for me. It's not for us in the States. It doesn't feel like it's, I don't know. Good luck. Solana, look, Sui's eating his lunch. It feels like it. It feels like everybody in Solana is like, all right, we got to move to Sui. And it's a similar type of thing. It's the same thing. VCs, you have all these unlocks coming up. You have FTX looming. It's just like, is it that good? It's the meme coin place. It's the place where it's fast. I mean, how many times do we got to hear these fuckers so fast? Is it decentralized? It doesn't have good uptime. It goes down. So those big financial products, they're not going to end up on Solana. XRP is just 50 cents. I don't know what I'm going to say about anything other than 50 cents. Dogecoin is the meme. You're counting on an increasingly unhinged Elon Musk to do something good for you. Tron is like BNB. It's not for me. But Toncoin, there's a mess there. I wouldn't be top 10. Nah, fuck that. Cardano, look, you guys got the narrative. You got the community. Do you have the tech? I don't know. I mean, is it good? Does it work the way it needs to? At least it is working on the things. You know what I mean? Like the decentralization. They have the right narrative. Now, are they going to be able? And you're seeing like a humility in Charles Hoskinson that I haven't really seen. He's saying nice things about Sui. He's saying nice things about Polkadot. He's saying he's in the past. He said nice things about Algorand. So he seems collaborative at the moment. So no hate there. Avalanche, you just saw people moving from from Ethereum to Avalanche. So these types of products, are they going to be able to bring it there? No hate on Avalanche. I hold Avalanche. I hold Cardano a little bit too, but I hold more AVAX. And we'll see, right? Shiba, don't care. Chainlink, I mean, this is the thing, right? Unfortunately, it seems pretty centralized, but at the same time, it's very vital infrastructure in how these blockchains communicate with each other. And they have a big play of being like, the crypto Swift or whatever. Bitcoin Cash, don't really care. Polkadot is something that I like. The price action is atrocious, but I really do think that Polkadot has a bright future. I just do. I think it's being completely and utterly kicked to the curb. Now, obviously, a major question about Polkadot is great, man. They're making some of the best tech. They're 2 steps ahead constantly. And you can just look, Gavin Wood is fucking brilliant. And people are just using it. Near's using the SDK, the Polkadot SDK. Cardano's talking about everybody. I mean, there's things like the biggest crypto gaming, Mythical Games, moved over to Polkadot from Ethereum. The Pudgy Penguin game is going to be built using Polkadot tech. Like, they have truly open, decentralized governance. Their Nakamoto number is like 125 or something like that. It's decentralized. It's doing everything right. It's just like, will the token actually be necessary for all these wonderful things that they're building? Gotta hope so. God, I hope so, for sure. We'll be talking about Polkadot on the show. I like it, and I own it. And that's typically why I want to talk about things, because I own things. Like, let's not be idiots here. Near, I don't know. It just feels like, okay, I don't know. I don't know enough to really give you anything other than it just feels more like, 462 is certainly fucked up on that. I've been tracking that for a long time. Was interested for a bit, but it's just like there's nothing going on in Near other than maybe the big solutions that they're trying to solve. But like the Near ecosystem, the Near community doesn't exist. There's people that hold it on centralized exchanges because they think it's going to go up. And outside that, I just don't really see it. Sui is now top 20. And like we talked about it earlier, it is, it's going down a little bit. It was over $2. It's crazy. $1.90. They're going to get back these gains. I mean, is it that special? I don't know. But it's more of that Solana type of thing. And this is probably the most legit contender if Solana really gets wrecked for some reason to replace it. So this could be the Solana killer. People are trying to do memes on it now and stuff like that. Exhausts me. I don't want any part of it, really. Litecoin, I have an affection for these types of things, these old school communities. It reminds me of a former friend, Digibyte. They're similar. They're decentralized. They can be internet money. I think if a lot of these regulators had their say, it would just be Bitcoin, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and that's it. And it would be internet money, and that's it. But that's not what's happening. And I don't know. There seems to be, it's still top 20, it's still top 25. Aptos. I guess that's the way you're supposed to say it. Aptos. I mean, I listened to the guy, the Mo, the luscious gray locks man, Mo Shake or whatever his name is, the guy from Facebook. And he was on Crypto Town Hall, I think it was yesterday, and he was talking about how fast it was. And, oh my God, I'm so tired of hearing how fast and everything. Look, is it decentralized? Is there any downtime? Okay, he said it was up 99.9% of the time. That means it went down once or something. But okay, fine, it's fast. All this, a lot of these things can be fast. But is it decentralized? Is it have instant finality? And is there a governance? Is there on-chain governance? Are people actually controlling this? Is this actually a public thing? Or is it just run by a bunch of VCs that are pumping and trying to use retail as exit liquidity and are getting increasingly desperate because their retail isn't coming in like they thought? I think that that's more along the lines, but we'll see. There's smart people behind it. Uniswap, it's a DEX token. Uniswap's popular. It is decentralized. There's a lot of, I don't know. I wouldn't want to own that unless I was highly, involved in the Uniswap DAO. Okay, we're going to skip over some of this. Like BitTensor is interesting. It's an AI play. I think it's also Polkadot, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Pepe, of course, is a meme, and it's a good meme. Caspa is supposed to be like some Bitcoin competitor. I don't really care. That's good luck. Monero's privacy, loved by the Algorand community's favorite man, John Woods. Yeah, I mean, that's good money for privacy. Matic went from a cap supply to Pol, which is, or Paul, or however you want to call it. I don't know. Polygon seems to be going through a transition that nobody's here for. So good luck. Ethereum Classic, don't care. Stellar, I think that they just, along with Algorand, actually just got some sort of approval in the EU. It was a tweet that I saw. I don't have a lot of information on that. Render is an interesting play for that type of thing. Stacks, I'm a holder of Stacks. I'm a believer in Stacks. I believe that this is the way that Bitcoin will be getting DeFi. It already has it. There's this Nakamoto upgrade that is imminent, and that should make it a lot faster. And like as Stacks is currently, unless you're willing to pay very high fees, it's slow. You're making slow moves. Dog with Hat, a Solana meme coin. It's got a vibe. Immutable X, games. Aave is another one of those, Filecoin, whatever. Optimism, whatever. That's a governance token for layer 2. Hedera Hashgraph, fast, centralized. Sorry, I'm sorry. I don't believe, folks. I'd rather be exposed to Sui than I would Hedera Hashgraph. VeChain is another one. It's been around forever. I just don't see it. I'm jealous of, we talked about AJ earlier. I'm jealous that AJ gets to go to all those UFC fights. But that's that. That's really the end of that for me. I don't really see, I don't see it. I don't see it, guys. I'm sorry, but I will see. Cosmos, I just feel like obviously that ecosystem is important. They really dropped the ball with the utility on this token. It's kind of useless. And they're really desperately trying to do it, but they've kind of faded away in a way I don't really understand. They're almost dropped out of the top 50. Yeah. Thorchain, I'm an owner. I'm a believer. The guy that is behind this is like doxed himself recently, and he calls it, he's accelerating. And boy, is he fucking accelerating. I mean, there's Thorchain has like meme coin energy, but real world use case in the future where we need truly censorship resistant rails to be trading crypto cross chain. So big believer in Thorchain. I'm underexposed. And you guys know how much I like to expose myself. It's up in the last 7 days, but it's actually correcting back down. The unfortunate thing about Rune and Thorchain is that this thing seems to pump but always get back its gains. So you really got to be in this, not for trading, or I guess actually you could trade it. Be a nice thing to trade because you kind of know what will happen if it goes on one of those parabolic runs. But I'm long on this, and I want to participate and learn more about it. Say what you want to say. I don't know shit about it, so I'm not going to talk about it. Bonk, another good soul meme. Floki, don't care. That I don't care. Maker Dow, obviously good. Another man. How far has Algorand gone? Jesus, we're gonna do this until Algorand. How much further do I need to go though? Popcat is probably something a lot of you are like, fuck, man, why didn't I buy that? I'm an idiot. I knew it was gonna be popular. Matic is still on there. Okay, so Algo, and this is where we'll stop. I think, right? There's nothing really else that I need to say about any of these other things. Flare is also interesting, but I don't know. We'll stop at Algo. Algo, 65, under 12 cents. Algorand. So Algorand's interesting to me because, for one, everybody talks about how they don't have any users, but they actually do have users when it comes to actual users. There's users. There's people in DeFi. There's people using it. There's also just holders everywhere. What has happened to Algorand is that they don't have VCs. They don't have any of the manipulation games that they used to have. There used to at least be some people here, like Borderless Capital, Arrington Capital. Now we just got like DWF that is not participating. They're just, they're playing their game. So I've been in the Algorand ecosystem for a long time. I know that there's people, and there's a core group of people that are definitely dedicated to it. And I know too much about it, so I could talk about Algorand forever and the good things and the bad things. But my snap kind of judgment is that, like, look, I think that the focus is not on retail and DeFi and things like that. The focus is certainly on compliance, on being the rails, and certainly Europe seems to have some energy. USDC is growing on chain ever since it got adopted from is now on Coinbase. That is very helpful for onboarding and offboarding USDC in the States, certainly. That's positive. So there's positive developments happening. You have things like TravelX. You have different real world asset projects building there. You have active meme coin communities. So there's a lot. There's a lot of them. The elements that you would want to build from are there. The problem is that there's no VCs to get rich, to manipulate. The volume is atrocious, 25 million. There are more liquid meme coins. There's more natural users than something like Sui and certainly Aptos, which are top 20. I wonder why. Well, because Algorand is almost fully distributed. And now the free money is there. You actually have to pay for it now. So Algorand is at an inflection point. It's falling down the list, and it's at risk of being replaced by new stuff because it doesn't have that prospect of retail mania that VCs can only kind of create. So either the adoption on the real world side accelerates and really people start to use this, companies start using this at a high level, and then Algorand's also transforming consensus right now. There's a lot going on. There's activity going on. So there's a good chance that this succeeds and it turns it around. But it is certainly at a crossroads right now where it can either continue to fall and lose more and more of the mind share in this industry, or it can start to accelerate. But somebody needs to get a little JP Thor energy over there at the Algorand Foundation and get this fucking thing moving. Maybe former JP Morgan bankers aren't the guys to do it. God damn it. I can't help myself. There you go. How much are you paying JP Morgan bankers to do nothing? That don't even believe in the industry. Sorry, I can't help that. That just sits there in my soul. Pisses me off. I've been talking about Algorand for so long. I know there's only 10 of you right now, so it's all good. I can talk. I can be free. Because you know how hard it is for me to be free. Just kidding. If Silvio doesn't like the foundation, they should switch it out, get more crypto native people in here, and let Silvio lead the real world adoption initiatives. He won't do it because he's probably worried about regulators. Anyways, okay, that's enough. All right, we did it. We did the top 65 quickly. How are you guys doing? You guys okay? You mad at me? Yeah, so Evis B&B is fantastic. So there you go. See, this is Evis. I know he's over there in the Mediterranean, and so like I said, B&B doesn't really feel like it's for me and for us over here. It just doesn't for some reason. I'm not particularly interested in it, but I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. It's kind of like Tether. Like if you're in the States, it's not really on your radar anymore. Or maybe if you're in Europe as well, because of regulations and who knows, how complicated they make it. You're not able to offboard it easily. So it's not really, but you don't want to get too wrapped up in doom and gloom about something like Tether because, well, A, they got a ton of money, and B, they got a ton of adoption on Tron, on BNB. So crypto isn't the United States. Gov, what's up? Voy, when's Voy in the top 100, Gov? Let's hear it. Relax and Sleep says disagree on Near. Look at the location of their users, just not US or EU based. And there you go. So that's another example of things that you definitely, when it comes to me, you're getting the bias of where I exist. You know what I mean? And I'm smart enough to look into these things and to question it and to not make any like sweeping conclusions just because it's not really on my radar, being somebody that is based out of the States. I just don't. When I went into it, not a long time ago, by the way. So maybe with this price appreciation, there's a growing community and a more active community. And I haven't looked into it since it's gotten up so high. But when I actually did, create a wallet, I started looking around. There was like a NFT project. I was looking at the different tools. It just seemed like that wasn't the focus. And I've talked to people recently and they've completely and utterly left the focus of more retail and more, I guess, focused on whatever they're focusing on, which I don't really understand. So I shouldn't really talk about. So probably Relax and Sleep, more about what's going on there. Bull Algo is here. Bulgo.algo is here. He's in the building, folks. Leventis, Bulgo.algo. I don't know what that means, but that's okay. Coop. Pepe will be in the top 10 very soon. I was saying this when it was at 200,000 total market cap and 2 million and 200 million and 2 billion. This motherfucker's getting rich off Pepe, folks. Should listen to him. Me too. Pepe's got the vibe. It's definitely got the vibe. So, and it's been around for a long time now at this point. So cheers, Evis. Congrats on your good decision making. Hedera been doing under 2 transactions per second without Atmos pumping those numbers. The mask is pulled off. I tend to agree with Governor's Hat. He's a good source of information as well. Relax and Sleep. I don't think it's always VC. I think tokens and true circulation has a huge impact, not in VC hands or owners. Well, so it's like an avalanche, right? Or like a ball rolling down a hill, like a hay ball or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It picks up steam. So like if there's VCs there that can like get the ball rolling, retail is a bunch of FOMO motherfuckers and they'll jump in. And yeah. So it's not all VC. I mean, the whole point is that the VCs can ignite retail. And they're doing that right now. And the reason why memes won't go away is because that's the only place that they can really accomplish that right now. And we're seeing some of that happening with Sui and Aptos, in my opinion. JP Morgan believes in blockchain. They just don't want to touch it until they can. Well, JP Morgan is being forced into believing in they believe in blockchain. They just don't believe that public blockchains are the future. They believe that their own blockchain and Rails would be a good idea. Thank you, Magic Mayhem. Bull cross algo. So bullish algo. We got a lot of bullish algo. We got algo to 200. We got bullish algo. The vibe's there, folks. Yada to mean. Any guys got any other questions? I got to go. We've been doing this a long time. You feel good about it? Are you scared? So there we go. We did an hour show today where I ranted and raved. It's a classic show. Now, when will we be doing this? I don't actually even know. If I could, like I said earlier in the show, if I could do this every single day and it were my only job, I would 100% do it. But I think now I'm best to focus on particular videos that I put time and effort into, that I send out there on YouTube, and get more views than a long stream where I have the homies watching. And then if I can grow those shorter, edited, more produced videos, then there might be a bigger audience for these streams. But as it is right now, when I was on Twitter, I was pulling like 300 viewers and stuff like that. Now, obviously, it's much smaller because I'm only on YouTube, and people, is the convenience of just finding on your timeline. Thank you guys, by the way, for sticking around for the entire hour. A lot of you, I can tell, did stick around for the entire hour. We've grown over the hour. And for anybody that made the journey over from Twitter over here, so if you can do me the favor of liking this video, and if you're not subscribed to the ReCoop, please subscribe to the ReCoop on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter. I don't know. Did I say like the video on Twitter? Like the video on YouTube, and subscribe on YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter. And help me get the word out so we can get people over here. We can consolidate on YouTube, and hopefully push this ball forward and grow this show. Let's give it a good final push. All right, folks. I enjoy it. I enjoy the community aspect of this. I like the back and forth. So let's have some fun. I think we're going to get to the other side of this pretty soon. I think that this sideways action is hopefully going to break to the upside, not the downside. It could go either way, obviously, but I don't know. I'm still bullish. I know that it's hard to be bullish in a world that seems on the verge of World War III. It's a hard thing. It's hard. There seems to be a lot of things being exposed. People like Elon Musk seem increasingly unhinged. Like, what happened to that dude? Like, what's going on? Like, what does he know will happen to him if the left wins? It's not just what he's saying. Like, he has his mom out there talking about dark MAGA. So he knows that it's bad for him under, if he's choosing the guy that hates electric cars over the left, there's some bad news about that out there for him, and only Donald Trump can save him. Wild. All right, folks. Well, I'll be back on a live stream sooner than later. I'll keep you posted on Twitter. We'll come up with a regular Caddy Smooth. There he is. We'll come up with a regular schedule for the streams, so you can, a time and day or days, so you can know to come here. Maybe turn notifications on YouTube. That'd be cool if you do that. That might help the algo. And watch out for my edited videos. We'll do those. Those are going to take more time. I got one coming soon. And let's keep it going. All right, folks. I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. I'm going to Dave & Buster's with my kids. I think that'll be fun. And back Basketball's coming back soon. I'm excited about basketball. We're in the full swing of fantasy football. Love that. It's a great time for sports. Love it when basketball's coming back. You got full football. I'm a sports head. Taking a break from X, but I get your YouTube notifications. Caddy Smooth. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. I need a bit of a break from X, to be honest. I'm going to still be active there. I got to be. But yeah, I want this to be a YouTube show. And it should be a YouTube show. And when people are like, oh, do you have a YouTube show? I'm like, yeah. And then they come and see, well, nobody's watching. You're not even putting videos on there. Yeah, it's because everybody's been watching on X. Fuck that. No, we're on YouTube now. We're back to being a YouTube show. So let's grow this thing. I got to do better than the numbers I did today, but nobody knew about this. I decided I was going to do a show today. There was no hype. There was no promotion. There was no structure. There was no research. There was no preparation. Oh, man. Got to put some cream on it.